in a way that helps you actually achieve your big goals. So I'm really excited to be talking about this today. So for those of you that are new and are just joining me, my name is Stacey Hylen, and I am a business coach, author, and speaker, and I help ambitious, super ambitious entrepreneurs who want to add a zero to their business without the hustle and burnout. So welcome, happy to have you here today. So for those that are joining us live in the Facebook group, there is a handout that goes along with it, so you can grab that to follow along with us. If you're listening on the podcast or on YouTube, I will be posting the link so you can get the handout as well below. So make sure you grab that, because then you can take notes and action steps as we go along. So what we're going to talk about today is some of the things I've been coaching now for over 20 years. And what I've seen is that people are making the same mistakes over and over again in terms of how they set their goals. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see when people set their goals for the year is they make way too many goals, they make them way too complicated, and they really are kind of scattered all over the place. So give me a thumbs up or a hands up if you have ever reached goals that you haven't set, that you have set for yourself. If you have missed goals that you've set for yourself, give me a high five and say yes. And here's why, right? As an entrepreneur, most of us entrepreneurs are wired to want to do a lot of things. We're highly ambitious. We have so many things that we want to do. And what happens is that we set big goals and too many of them, which makes it really hard to stay focused on what the most important thing is in our year. Okay. So one of the things I learned, and I learned this from Ofer Breyer, who is a close friend of Tony Robbins. And what he talked about was how to set an 8-word goal. So here's the first step of what we're going to do today. So make sure you have your pen and paper and grab the download if you don't already have it. So one of the things is that you make this huge goal. It's very fuzzy and it's not easy to hit. So what I want you to do is put your goal. If you look at 1 year from today, what would you have to accomplish for you to feel happy and successful this year for your business? So we're just going to do a business goal right now. I strongly believe that you should set personal goals as well, health goals, things like that. But what I want you to do is write down in 8 words what you think would make you feel happy and successful in 365 days from today if you have accomplished it. So I'll give you an example of an 8-word goal. And this is such a huge thing for most entrepreneurs, is because when I ask most people when they start coaching with me, what are your goals? They could talk for 20 minutes on their goals. But what we've found is by putting it in this 8-word format. Now, I've done this with my groups. I do a mastermind for Forbes for their high achievers. And one of the things that we've done is do this 8-word goal format, and it keeps you very, very focused. So each month when you come on the mastermind, it's like, okay, what is your 1 year goal? Let's get back to that. Okay. And it keeps you really focused. So I'll give you an example of one of these 8-word goals. So for example, 100K a month in MRR, monthly recurring revenue. And I just put MRR, kind of cheat to make the 3 words into one. Comma, launch new product 8-1. Okay, so that's an example of a really crystal clear 8-word goal that you could set for yourself. Now, I'm not saying that your MRR has to be $100,000 a month. It could be $10,000 a month, right? And it doesn't have to be an MRR. This was just for my client that set a particular goal, that he was a software person, right? So they want the monthly recurring revenue. Or if you're a coach, you could want the monthly recurring revenue, right? Launching the new product. So by having this very focused 8 words, right, it keeps you on track, because as an entrepreneur, there's always shiny objects, right? Like shiny objects, squirrels, whatever you call them, that get us off focus. So if you know that this is what you want 100K in income for the year and fill such and such of a program, right? That could be a very simple and easy goal to keep you on track. So everything you're doing should be between those guideposts of getting you to that goal. Okay. Now you can do this personally as well. Again, It doesn't need to be 300 goals all written down. It could be run 3 days a week, stretch or yoga daily, right? Now, if you did that, how would you feel at the end of the year? Most people, if they did that, they would feel really accomplished and successful for their year, right? So write what it is in 8 words, what your goal is for the year. And I want you to keep this in front of you daily so that you can see that for yourself. So when you start to go off track, you're like, okay, what is the goal here? Now, one of the things is that what we discovered in doing this in Mastermind is sometimes you might get to halfway throughout the year and you might need to adjust the goal. You might have already hit it. Things might have happened throughout the year that have changed what's happening in the marketplace. It's okay to change your goal and to shift it. The other thing that we've discovered is that one of the things that we realized is as focusing on this one goal, it allowed us to be more clear in moving the goal if we needed to. So for example, one of my clients had a big goal in terms of sales, but he didn't have the profit margin set in it, right? So instead of just having, for example, we had 100K month in MRR, we might have had, $10,000 a month in sales and 30% profitability, right? Or 30% profitability, 80% retention, right? So again, that can put it into a very astute, very, very focused 8-word goal. So I'd love to see what yours are. Share them below so I can see what you guys are posting and any questions you have as well. All right, so the next thing that we want to look at on your year goal. Now you have the printout here as well. So I've given you in the printout the calendar so you can see your 1 year goal. You're going to put it on the top, and then you're going to put the 1 month goal. So if the 1 year goal is 100K per month, right? You want to figure out what that gap is. Okay. So if you're at 80,000 right now, then your goal is 20,000 that you need to get. So how much do you need to get per month to hit that goal? Right? And put it into a monthly goal so that you know that that monthly goal is leading you to where you want to be. Okay. Now on the handout I gave you, the other thing we talked about that I put on there is focus areas and intentions. And this is something that I do all of the time because, if I set a goal like $100,000 a month in MRR and launch new product 8/1, that's a very masculine, right-brained kind of feeling goal. And it could feel heavy or not so exciting. So what I want to pair that with is the intention or the feeling. How do you want to feel while you reach that goal? Okay. So, and if you want more help with that, this is my old standby. It's all beat up, the Desire Map by Danielle Laporte. But the thing is that what is that feeling that you want to have? How do you want to feel while you're reaching that goal? So I'm just going to give you some ideas of some words that you could use or put your own words or feelings around it. So some of them are energy, happy, prosperous, focused, wealthy, excellence, delight, freedom, positive, resourceful. So those are some of the ways that you want to feel as you're doing that. Okay. So when we look at how we want to feel, then we can look at, okay, I'm going for that $100,000 a month goal, but I'm feeling draggy, tired, crabby. You know that you're out of alignment with how you want to feel. Okay. So I want to make sure that you have those feelings on your calendar, the planning sheet that I gave you, so that you can really tune into how you want to feel, right? I want to feel energy. I want to feel excellence. I want to feel resourceful. I want to feel positive. And I also want to feel a feeling of freedom. So if those things are missing, then I know that I'm getting off track with my goal, because the whole thing here is to optimize your business and your life and to scale your business without the hustle. So if you start to get into the icky feelings, you know that you're probably hustling too hard. Okay. So who do you need to be to reach that goal? So if you're looking at $100,000 a year, $1 million a year, $100,000 per month, who do you have to become to reach that goal? Again, that's a missing part, because a lot of times people see this as just a number, but really it's who you have to become. They say, like if you are an Olympian, right? Not everybody can be an Olympian, But if you were to become an Olympian, who would you need to be to become an Olympian? You would need to be a person who never quits. You would need to become somebody who fuels their body, right? And so look at some of the things for your goal that you need to be in order to reach it as well. Okay, so who do you need to be? So you have right now you have your 8-word goal for the year. You have some of the feelings and intentions and words that you want to infuse that goal with, right? How you want to feel as you achieve it. And then the third thing is, who do you need to be? So for a lot of my business owners, one of the things that they put on is a CEO mindset, right? Like, I want to be a CEO. I don't want to just be a service business or a small business owner. I need to get into that CEO energy. And even clients that are making 8 figures are having to shift from business owner to that CEO energy, because that's a different leap for you in how you operate. Okay. So I want you to write those things down. Now, when you get to this part of the worksheet, which is focus areas. Now, I love doing focus areas. They're super fun. And I made a printout for you so that you can do your focus areas. But I want to show you an example. I have one here in my book. Okay. So I have focus areas and I have them broken down by columns. And that's how I made it for you on your sheet that you can download. So what you want to do is you want to put, if your goal is 100,000 or 1,000,000 or whatever your goal is, what are the focus areas that you need to do of how to get to that overall goal? And I think that's one of the mistakes people make, is that they see these smaller focus areas as their goal, whether it's, launch a podcast or grow a podcast. The way I see it is that is more of a focus area. So if you look at my columns here, the columns have the different areas. And so one of them could be, that's my Trello board. The focus areas, sorry, I'm going back into an old one and I lost my page that I had marked. So what I want to do is I want to look at what are those focus areas that I need to do in order to reach that goal. So for example, speaking could be a focus area. Now your goal could be, I want to set 10 speaking engagements, but the focus area is speaking. And then underneath there on that worksheet, you're going to write down the action steps you're going to take. So I'll give you some examples of how you're going to reach the goal. So one of your columns could be sales optimization. So if I want to reach 100,000, 1,000,000, whatever your goal is, you might have sales optimization as one of your focus areas. So for example, what are the things that you need to optimize in your sales process to get more clients? Okay. So you're going to write sales optimization in the focus area, and then below it, then you put your action steps. Okay. So what are the areas that you're going to optimize? Well, I'm going to improve my follow-up system. Again, that's an action step. Okay. What else am I going to do in the sales optimization? I'm going to improve my calendar system so that when I book an appointment with somebody, they actually show up, right? So these are little tweaks that you can be making that lead to huge increases in your results that you're getting. Another area of focus for your business goal could be marketing, right? So there's your marketing focus column. Now, what are the marketing initiatives that you're doing in order to reach that goal? So the action steps could be do a Facebook Live. It could be release your podcast. It could be create your LinkedIn process that you're doing for marketing, right? Again, put those action steps in that column below that. Now, don't get overwhelmed because we're not doing all of these action steps right this minute. So we're going to get to that in a minute. Another area could be client onboarding. So that could be an area of focus. So for example, if one of my words, my intentions that I've set up is having an excellence, a level of excellence in everything I do, then client onboarding could be an area that I want to improve that excellence that we're offering in bringing new clients on board. Okay. Another area could be product development. So when we talked about that 8-word goal at the beginning, we talked about launching a new product. So product development would be a focus area. So you can see now, if I had sales optimization, marketing, client onboarding, and product development, that would give me some actual areas to focus on. Now, what I want you to do is take that calendar printout, and I want you to look at what are you going to do each month. It doesn't mean that you have to do each focus area every month, right? So you might want to work on the marketing first, right? Before you focus on the sales optimization. Or you might want to work on the sales optimization so that you have that up to snuff if it really is not working well, so that when you increase your marketing, you get better results. Client onboarding could be something that you do after the marketing and the sales optimization. And product development, depending on when you're launching the product, you can put it on the calendar accordingly. It might be this quarter, might be next quarter, it might be 3 quarters from now. But what I want you to do is to take this calendar and really look at what are going to be my focus areas during these times. Now, I gave you a sheet at the end also that allows you to lay out a bunch of focus areas like I did in my journal. And then just brainstorm the action steps below those, okay? Now, what you want to do is you want to look at what's the monthly focus, and then what are your weekly projects that you're going to be doing. So, for example, if your thing is sales optimization, right? A weekly project, easy for me to say. A weekly project could be that week is to fix your calendar system, right? Now, that is not an action step. Fixing your calendar system is not the action step. That is the project. You want to chunk it down. And this is, when I worked with Tony Robbins, this is one of his big things, is really chunking. Because if I put something on my calendar, like fix website, right? It's a huge project, right? But if I put test the opt-in page, that it's working with the autoresponder, that is an action step that I can actually now put on my calendar for Monday or for Tuesday, right? And cross that off. But if I keep it in the big project or big focus area, a lot of times people will just put things on their calendar of like improve their marketing. That's a focus, is improving the marketing, optimizing your marketing, right? You want to put it into a project, and then you want to put it into an action step. Okay, so each time you're doing something, you want to do the focus area, the project, and then the action step. Okay, so the focus area, I love to brainstorm on those on a big piece of paper, like you have in the handout I gave you, and then put all of the projects and action steps underneath those, and then you can put them onto your calendar, right? So if this month you're working on the client sales optimization, right? And one of the projects is to improve the calendar, and then you have the action step. Now, what's the next project into the sales optimization? Well, it could be follow-up after the first call. So if you know that follow-up is the project, then what are the action steps you need in the follow-up part of sales optimization? Well, again, you're going to brainstorm on these, right? So it could be that you don't have a good CRM system and you need to find a way to categorize people on your CRM system so that you make sure that they're being followed up on. It could be that you're putting together a better way to handle it in your Google Docs or your Google Calendar, that it's syncing. It could be that you are creating a follow-up piece that you're, like, for example, when somebody comes on board and we have a conversation, I'll send them out information about working with me, right? Do you have that packet ready? Is it beautiful? Does it reflect the excellence that you want in your brand? Does it have that energy that you want in your brand, right? So if those are things that you need, put it down as a project and then chunk it down into the baby little action steps, okay? So hopefully this is really showing you how you can really get laser focused in on your business with your big goal. And I want you to have that big goal in front of you every day. Like if you're using a paper calendar, write it down there. If you're using an email system that you have your calendar on there, like again, put it as an appointment on your calendar for yourself so you can remind yourself, okay, this is my goal. And what I think you'll find is that when you keep the focus on that big 8-word goal. It allows you throughout the year to look at that goal and see, okay, am I on target for this? Is this still the goal? Are there things that I'm learning from this goal that I need to shift it? Like I mentioned before, my client realized that he was not focusing enough on profitability, right? So he then had a gross sale goal, but added a profitability in it as well, because he was realizing that his sales reps were not focusing enough on the profitability of the deal. Okay, so get really clear on what you want. I would love to see what you guys come up with. Post in the comments and let me know what you guys have come up with. And then the last thing I would tell you for this is to create a container of support for yourself, okay? So this Facebook group that you're watching this in now is a container of support, right? There's other business people on here that also want to grow their business, that also are looking to add a zero without the hustle, right? So you're in a group of people that want the same kind of things that you do. So how could you create that container of support for yourself? Do you have an accountability buddy? Do you have a coach? Do you have a mastermind group that is supporting you and calling you, forward into those big groups? Now, I saw with my mastermind group that I run that people were able to double their sales, right? After years of being in business, they're able to grow because they have this new level of accountability, this new focus, laser focus on their goal of what they need to accomplish for the year. Okay, so if you would like some support with that, I would suggest you go to staceyhylen.com and book a free strategy session, book a free hidden profit session on there to help you create that plan to help you hit this goal. Because I think a lot of times we look at something with our own eyes and we can't see the holes in our plan. So I'd be happy to look at your plan with you, see what you have planned for the next year ahead, and see how we can help you hit that goal. So remember, don't just learn, implement, and I will see you on here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you here next time.